Now we have a problem right here. When we scroll down, we have our fixed layout, and since it does not have any background, when we scroll it is not appearing any color. So what we can do is, right now it is perfect, but when we scroll we want to set its background for the header. So let's create some CSS. So for that, when we scroll our web page, then we want to add a class to the header. So let's say we want to add a class bg dark. So we need to use jQuery for that, and we also need jQuery to make it clickable, and also when we click on the menu icon we want to scroll to that section. So for that we need jQuery. Go to jQuery.com, and then you can go to download, and we can download the compressed production jQuery. So just download it. Go to your file, then copy it and bring to your project, and into your website create a new folder called JS, and inside it put this file and copy its name, and come back to your project. So we have completed the footer section also, so I want to add a comment. So since it is not an ID, I just want to write like that. So now we need to import our jQuery. So how we can do this is create a script. So we just need to provide the source. So we have the jQuery in the JS folder, so we need to go to the JS folder. So go to JS and then link this file with the extension .js. Okay, now we have successfully placed our jQuery right here. Now we need to write some jQuery. So create a script and press tab key, and inside the script we need to execute our jQuery when the document loads, that is when the window is ready. So add a jQuery window dot ready, and when window is ready we want to execute a function, and inside this we will specify all the events that we are going to use in our website. First of all, what I want is, I want our header to have some class when we scroll down. So let's add that using jQuery. So write window dot scroll, and inside it create a function and write a semicolon right here. And when the window is scrolled, we want to add some class, but maybe we want to add the class when the window is scrolled a little bit downward. So when the window is scrolled, I want to measure the scroll. So create a variable as scroll, and inside scroll I want to set the value $this dot scroll down. It will give, or it will return the scrolled value. So this is a function, so write like that. Now I want to write, if the scroll value is greater than or equal to 5, I want to reference header, and I want to add a class to it, that is bg dark. in the else condition I want the header to remove that class. Okay, let's see if it works or not. Just refresh it and just right click on your header and inspect, and let's see, scroll back and let's see at the header. When we scroll, okay, now when we have scrolled, we have added the class BGTarg, so it's looking great. Now go to CSS and let's specify some CSS for BGTarg. So below the header I want to add CSS for the BGTarg. I want its background to be some black with some little bit transparent color, so I want to set it value to RGBA with 0, 0, 0 and 0.9. So let's refresh it, and now let's scroll. Okay, you can see when we scroll we have the background, and that is black with 90% opacity, and it's looking great. And let's view it in desktop. Just refresh it, we don't have any background. When we scroll we are going to have some background, and this is looking great. What we can do is, this padding looks little bit more when we scroll, so for the BGTarg I want to decrease the padding, so inspect it, and for the header maybe I can decrease the padding when we scroll. So we have padding of 20 pixel on the top bottom and 15 pixel on the left right. So for the BGTarg I want to set the padding to 15 pixel on the top bottom and left right, so I want to reduce the 5 pixel padding. So let's refresh it and scroll. Okay, now looks great for me. Now we want to add the functionality that when we click on this icon we want our menu to expand. So to do this, go to index.html and let's write a new jQuery. So below that I want to add a jQuery. So when I click on this button has a class called nav toggler, so I want to refresh that button. When I click on that, I want to add a function inside it. I want to execute a function when I click it. So what I want to do is, I want our nav to toggle, and you can set the time how much it will take to toggle. So maybe I want just 100 millisecond. You can increase this value or decrease this value, and you can check the effect. This is it takes 100 millisecond to show and hide. So what this toggle does is, when I click this button it will display the nav if it is hidden, and when it is displayed again, when I click that button it will hide it. So it will switch between show and hide. So that is the effect that we are going to need. So just refresh it, and okay, now let's see. When I click, the menu is appearing, and when I click it again the menu is disappearing, and that looks really good. Now we want to create a functionality that when we click on this about, we want to scroll to this about section. So to do that we need to use jQuery. So first of all we are going to write like that. So before that I want to say you that I have created the ID in each section, and I have already told you that I'll be using that later. So for creating the menu, so for creating event, when I click this, I want to scroll right here. So we are using these IDs, so in home and in nav. So when I click on this home, I want to go to the home section. That is this home section. And when I click on about, I want to go to about. When I click on portfolio, I want to go to the section with the ID portfolio. So I am referencing it using hash. When I click on contact, I want to go to contact, and when I click on this download resume button, I want to download the resume, so I don't need any reference, any div right here. So that looks perfect. Again, when I click on this logo, I want to go back to the home section. So for this logo, I want to add hash home. Instead of using button, I can use the anchor tag right here. So I'll tell you later why I'm changing this to anchor tag. So anchor tag, and then I can set its hyperlink to hash about. Okay, just refresh it. Now we have not the CSS, so I want to go to the style.css, and I want to see where I have the caption button. Instead of caption button, I want to use caption A tag, and it will fix all of them. Okay, it is not fixing all of them because I want to set it to display inline block, and also text decoration to none. Now save it and refresh it. Okay, great. Now click on this. Okay, you are on the about. Click on this, you are on the portfolio. Click on this, you are on the home. Now somewhat looking great, but maybe what I can do is, when I click on this about section, I can scroll like this. I can scroll with some animation. So to create animation, we need to write jQuery. So go right here and let's write some jQuery. So when we click on the nav anchor tag, that is inside ELI, or when we click on the anchor tag of the caption, that is anchor tag of the caption, or when we click on the this anchor tag. So let's add a class logo link. So let's copy this, and now let's write it right here. Okay, when we click on this, we want to create an animation. So inside click, we want to create a function. Inside this function, first of all, we need to define the target. So where do we want to scroll it? We want to store it in a variable. So create a variable target, and this should have value. Whichever element we click, we want their attribute, and we want its href attribute. So get it. Then we want to scroll. So how we can create animation is, write this code. Set the duration, how much it will take to scroll, then set the scroll top, and where do you want to scroll is to the target. then offset dot top. Now save it, go back and refresh and click on about. Okay, now looking perfect. When we click on the menu, we are scrolling to that specified section, and that is looking perfect. But you can see, instead of appearing our section from right here, there is little bit our section is going inward. This is because our section is appearing from top of the window, and this header, which has the position fixed, is hiding our some part of the section. So we need to subtract this header section so that our content needs to be appear right from here when we scroll. So to do that, let's compute the height of the header. So when we are on the desktop, we might have some height of this header, and when we are on the mobile, our header might have some certain different height. So what we can do is we can use a jQuery to find the height. So create a variable and compute the header height equals to $header dot outer height. This is a jQuery function that gives the height of a certain element. So we need to write it in inverted comma. So from the top, we need to subtract this header height. Now it should look perfect. Just refresh it, click on about, click on portfolio, click on contact. Okay, there is a little bit problem. We have little bit spacing right here. This is because, I will tell you, actually when the window loads, the header has the padding of 15 pixel, sorry 20 pixel on the top bottom, but when we scroll, we reduce it by 5 pixel on the top and 5 pixel on the bottom, so it has 10 pixel less padding. So whenever we scroll, our header is going to have the value 10 pixel greater than this actual height when we scroll. So we need to subtract the 10 pixel from it. So header height will be total header height minus 10. Now let's refresh it and click on portfolio, click on contact, click on home, click right here, and it looking perfect. Now let's see in mobile if it looks perfect or not. Let's refresh and click on learn more about it. Okay, looking great. Open the menu, click on portfolio. Okay, looking great, but here is still a problem. When we click on the menu, it needs to disappear, but this needs to be disappear only when we are on the mobile. We don't want this menu to disappear when we click on desktop or tablet. So in mobile, we want this menu to disappear when we click them, and when we click again on them, it needs to appear. So how we can fix this is using a small jQuery. So whenever we click on the anchor tag of the nav, we want to hide the menu. So let's add a jQuery. So we want to apply this if the width of the window or the window is below the 768 pixel. So we need to specify the width. We can use the window.matchMedia jQuery function. Now let's see, just refresh it and other things looks perfect. Now open the menu and click on about. Okay, the menu hides and it is really looking perfect. Okay, it is looking great, but still we have got a little bit problem. You can see, you can hardly see, but there is a black background in the header. When we scroll down, we need this background, but when we scroll up then to the top, then it needs to be removed. So I think maybe the class is not removing when we scroll up. Let's see where is the problem. Okay, here is the problem. We need to change it and place it inside inverted comma. So now it will work. Just refresh it, and when we scroll down the background changes, and when we scroll up the background is removed. So looking great. But I want to say you that when I scroll up and down, the padding also changes because we have set the padding using the class. So maybe I can add a little bit effect right here, like transition effect. So to add the effect, go to style.css and you need to add effect to the header. So for the header, add a transition, and for all the element, and transition should be linear, and the duration is how much time do you want to see the transition to take place. So okay, I'm going to set it 1 second so you can clearly see the effect, but I'll decrease it later. So let's see how it looks. When I scroll down, you can see the background changes and the padding also decreases slowly. When you scroll up, okay, it is great, but it is little bit too much slow. I want to decrease it, and I want 0.3 second or maybe even 0.2 second. So let's see how it looks. Just refresh. Okay, 0.2 second looks good for me. Okay, great, this is looking good. Now let's see if we have missed anything or not. Okay, looking great. When you click on portfolio, looking great. Okay, okay, when I hover over button, maybe I can change my cursor to pointer. So let's do this. To do this, for all the button element, so let's add a CSS for all the button. I want their cursor to be pointer. So save it and refresh it, and when I hover over there, I am seeing the cursor pointer, and it is very good. Now everything looks perfect. Okay guys, I have made few changes in the website. So what I have done is, I have added the skills. I have changed the icon right here. So to change the icon, you can also go to your Photoshop document and crop those icons, and you can just link those icons in your HTML document, and you can add the text right here according to your icon. So in this way you can add as many skills as you want. So I hope you can do that yourself. And again, one more thing is, I have changed the images right here. So just like I have done for this image, just go and crop the images and add to your portfolio section. So you can also change these images and add your own project images, and you can add the heading and some description according to your project. So I hope you can do that. So the last thing I changed is, I added the link in these social media icons. So when I click on them, it takes me to that URL, that is my profile page. So to add the link in these social media icons, I'll show you how to add in one of them. For example, I want to show you how to add a link in Twitter, then you can add for other, because the process is same for other. So to add link, just go to your profile page and copy the link right here. Then come back to your index.html file. Then here is my Twitter link, so right here in the hyperlink just paste it. So when you click on this Twitter icon in your web page, then it takes you to this URL, so you are directed toward your profile page. So for the rest of the icons you can do the same process. Now everything seems to be complete. So one more thing is we need to make this download resume button work. So right now when we click on this button nothing happens, but what we want is when the user click on this button they needs to be able to download our CV. So for that we need a CV. I have downloaded a CV. It is just a template from the Google, so you can create your own CV. And then to link this CV in your website, we are going to create a new folder called files, so that we can manage our files in this folder. So put this file in your files folder, then go to your HTML document and go to the download resume button. So here is the download resume button, and in the href just give path to your file. So the path will be file/cv.pdf. So once you have done, you can refresh the page and let's see what happens when we click. Okay, our CV loads when we click, and then user can download the CV from here. So it looks great. Now I think we are almost complete, but at last we can add a little bit thing that helps in search engine optimization. So what I want to say you is we can add some meta information in our web page, some meta description, some meta keywords, and some meta author. So these things helps in the search engine optimization. So I'll tell you how to add them. And just like we have already added one meta tag for viewport. So okay, I'm sorry, I think I have done a little bit mistake right here. So instead of width, it needs to be content, and the width should be inside right here. So width should be the device dash width. So change that. If we don't write this code correctly, then it will not be responsive in mobile. So just change that. And now let's add some meta tag for description. So write meta name equals to description, and in the content. So what this description means is what this web page is about. So we can add our tagline right here. Maybe this page is about the responsive web designer and developer portfolio. So you can add meta description like that. So another thing is we are going to add meta keyword. So meta name will be keywords, and then content will be, you can add some keywords so that when the people search those keywords, they will be directed to our page. So it helps in search engine optimization. So add some keywords like, first of all I want to add my name, then you can add many keywords like that as you want. So the next thing we can add is meta author. To add a meta author, write meta and write the name author, and inside the content add your name. So what this meta author means is, this defines the author of this page, that is to whom this page belongs to. So it is your web page, so you can just write your name right here. So this meta information helps in search engine optimization, that to find your web page. So I hope everything is fine now. We have completed the designing of our template. So guys, we have finally completed the designing of our HTML template, and it is fully responsive. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and in the next video I'll show you how to upload this using some free hosting. I'll be using 000 web host to upload our web page. So hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.